I think of what my D&D character for a barbarian would look like personified in real life. This is that.
I'm actually not a big fan of Harley Davidsons. It's one of the reasons I have a Triumph.
Welcome back to the road. So this is my 2018 Triumph Rocket 3 Roadster A2. This is the last year that they built this motorcycle because after they changed the body style, which is why I have this one. I used to have a 2011 Rocket 3 Roadster, but unfortunately I totaled it and I broke both my arms in the process. My ulna, my radius, and both arms, my wrists, a thumb, a couple fingers, and it really knocked me down until recently. The comeback was hit or miss, but when you lose 60, 70 pounds, you just can't put that back on overnight. So my whole life I've been on dirt bikes. Motorcycles essentially, but dirt bikes my whole life. I started racing when I was a young boy. I started working out so I could be faster at riding dirt bikes, more physically fit. I was 23 years old. It was 2013 and I just won the NPC, what was it called? The Gold's Classic in Wilmington, North Carolina. I won that NPC show. I took a whole year off in 2012 to prepare for it, and I won, and I qualified for Nationals. Nationals used to be the Mr. Universe. So when you hear Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about the Mr. Universe, et cetera, that's now Nationals. It is a huge show. It is the largest amateur show that we have. If you win Nationals, you turn pro, but not only that, everybody knows your name. Everybody checks to see who won that show. Everybody is sitting in the audience of that show, and the phone rings if you win that show. So when I qualified in 2013, I thought to myself, this is my chance. I'm 23 years old, I'm gonna go to Nationals, I'm gonna win Nationals. It's gonna change my life. I was broke though. I was working in a commercial gym as a trainer, and I was working nights, security, but I had my car. I had a Mitsubishi Galant. And I thought to myself, I haven't been on a motorcycle since I was 17 years old or so when I used to race them. Now I'm 23. I could sell the car. I could sell my car. That would give me enough money to get entry into the contest, to be able to get there, a hotel, the food leading up to it, even to help me not have to work as much night shift, to be able to do the contest. And it will all pay off. Because when I get there, I'm gonna win. And that's gonna be perfect and everything will sort itself out. So that's what I did. I sold the car. I think I got $11,000 or so for the car. Paid off some credit cards so I can open those up. Got the flights, got the hotel, got the NPC card, got my entry form. I bought a cheap motorcycle, a 1996 Vulcan 1500 LC-3. Yeah, beautiful little V-twin. Named her the Bumblebee. I lost that show. Yeah, I lost that show. And that's the little did I know I would end up on a motorcycle for 10 years. No cars, no cars. I would be on that bike getting groceries, going to bodybuilding contests covered in tanner. Yeah. But I did, I lost. I went down there, I bet everything, I banked everything, I risked it all, and I lost. So my first Rocket 3 Roadster, her name was Miss Rocket, simple Miss Rocket. She was amazing. 70,000 miles I put on her, coast to coast, 5 or 6 times, all over. Totaled her, destroyed her. Wasn't fair, but she's gone. Then I grabbed this one. So there was a dilemma at the time, and that's what really sets this whole thing up. They stopped making this bike in 2018. At the time, for 10 years, this was the largest production motorcycle in the world. Since 2005 to 2018, this was a 2300cc motorcycle, the largest production motorcycle in the world. Of course, you could get like a custom motorcycle, someone could put, the Boss Hoss and all that stuff together, but this came with a warranty. They stopped making it in 2018. I totaled mine in 2018. 2018, 2019 rolls around. I don't have a motorcycle anymore. I really want one. They announce they're coming out with a new one. 2,500 cc's. It's gonna be the new world record holder. It's gonna be mean, it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be way better than this one. Totally different body style. all the way. It looks like a Ducati DeVille or Monster or something like that. It looks more like a sport bike. Doesn't look like this one. Everyone was really excited about it. I put a down payment on a TFC model, a very, very rare one. I got to see one in person. I took my deposit back. I didn't want it anymore. I searched the country. I found one of these sitting on the showroom floor, forgotten about, up in Colorado. I called the dealer in Colorado and I said, I want that bike, the exact one you have, the red stripe, the Rocket 3, 2018. All the little quirks are fixed, all the years it's been out. So I flew to Colorado, rented a car, drove it to the dealer, bought the motorcycle, drove the motorcycle back to Vegas. So the reason I didn't go with the brand new Rocket 3, her sister, the 2500cc model, is because it's shaped like a sport bike more. This one is huge. I can sit here and I can put my girl on the back here and I do not feel her. And if you ride motorcycles, you know how important that is. She can sit here. It's like she's not even there at all. I can turn, I can brake, I can accelerate. There's so much torque with this monster that it doesn't matter if I'm full of cargo or not. It turns well. You can see these are ground down from me twisting around. This bike for me is extremely comfortable, very, very, very fast. And I think it looks good too. It's somewhat of a sleeper. I have a little bit of an ego. I am a bodybuilder after all. And this is a big muscle bike. So here's the thing. I was thinking to myself, I love this body, but I love technology and I like going fast. If the new Rocket 3, the 2500cc engine, if they put that technology in that engine into a retro model, I would probably buy it. But every time I'm at gas stations, people remind me that there is a 2500cc motorcycle, that there is a sister bike making a little bit more horsepower. This one makes about 146. That one makes about 170 or so. So I thought to myself, easy solution. Let's put a supercharger on this one, and then we'll have 300 horsepower. And then every conversation will be over and I'll just win and she'll be big and she'll be bad and she'll be sleeper. No one will know she's so fast until they get up close and they see the apparatus. But we're gonna change the pipes out because we're gonna have to let her breathe more. We're gonna put a big supercharger on here. We have to change the grips because they're worn down from me twisting too hard. We're gonna upgrade the front suspension because when we have that much power, we're gonna be slamming on the brakes a little harder and we're gonna blow out the forks. And she's gonna go to Devin Designs, which is an immaculate, beautiful, custom motorcycle dealership, I guess you say. They build Harleys, custom V-rods, but of course they can do anything. And they do it all, everything from the paint down to rebuilding the motor to upgrades, and they are one of the hottest places in Las Vegas. And I am so happy that Devin just happens to be a gym connection. You know, Iron Family, got your back, brother. But I didn't even know he owned this place until we got to know each other a little more. And how lucky for me and Sriracha. So this is a Guardian bell. You can't buy one yourself, otherwise that's bad luck. And it's bad luck to not have one, they say. But if you are gifted one, you're supposed to put it rather low on the motorcycle, and it is to protect you while you ride. So this is Devin Diego's shop, Devin Diego Designs, DDD. He makes beautiful custom motorcycles, everything from the designs to the engine rebuilds. Only open on Wednesdays, 12 to 3. Hey, little girl, little boy, whatever you are. This is DDD, Devin Diego Designs, and Devin builds motorcycles. He builds custom motorcycles. He gets them brand new in the crate. He designs and he builds these beautiful things. And I didn't know that when I first met the guy. I met the guy 7, 8 years ago in the parking lot of LVAC at 1 o'clock in the morning, I think it was, and his motorcycle wouldn't start because he was building motorcycles out of his garage.
And I didn't think about it. He told me, he was like, I can't get this bike to start. It keeps having a drain. I have to find where it's pulling from. And I was like, oh, cool. He was like, yeah, I build bikes. And I was like, cool, man, I love bikes. That's awesome. And we became gym buds, and I'd see him at LVAC every now and then. And then I saw his Instagram one day, and I was like, holy cow, Devin, you build some motorcycles. But I don't know the timeline. So when I met him, I'll ask him when he gets here. Like, did he have the shop 7 years ago? How long has this shop been here? Was he out of his garage 7 years ago? Because if he was, it doesn't matter where he came from. This is gorgeous for everybody. That's a 1250 cc's. Sriracha is 2,300. And that's why I don't have a V-twin. I have an inline 3-cylinder. It's like a big hope chest of an engine. It's not the prettiest engine, but it produces stock. I think it's 163 pounds of torque. Look at that tire. And my hand is big too. I'm actually not a big fan of Harley Davidsons. It's one of the reasons I have a Triumph. But I do like the V-Rod a lot. The motorcycle that he chose to work on is the motorcycle from Harley that I would choose to own personally if I was going to choose one. They're fine bikes. They're fine bikes. Harley Davidson is the oldest American motorcycle manufacturer that hasn't ever gone out of business, that's still in production. There's other ones that are older, like Indian was older, but Indian has been sold and gone out of business half a dozen times. Triumph is the oldest motorcycle manufacturer in Europe, Great Britain, that hasn't ever been sold or gone out of business, et cetera, and they are older than Harley, and they are rivals. So it's Harley guys, Triumph guys. If you ever see these rods here on the side of the V-twin engine, that's how you can tell it's a Harley, because Harley is one of the only motorcycle manufacturers that still use push rods to open and close the valves. Well, really just to open the valves. And that's where the expression hot rod comes from, because back in the day, and I mean back in the day, like the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, all engines used push rods to open the valves. So the problem with push rods is you have to imagine as the engine's turning and you're accelerating, this rod is being flipped by the crank or by the gearing inside. And as the rod is going up and down, it's trying to push this valve open. Well, as you go faster and faster and faster and the RPMs are going faster, this rod, it just starts going at incredible speeds trying to open up this valve, and the valve is closing by a spring. So two things can happen. One, the rods can get super, super hot, which is where the term hot rod comes from, because you're revving your engine so much that your push rods are getting really hot, and then that can cause problems like warping and such. But then the other one is the valve has to open to let the gases come out of the engine, especially like the exhaust valve, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But as the push rod is real long and it's working by a mechanism down here to push it up and push it up and push it up so that the valve can open and close and close and close. If you go really, really fast, this will be going so fast that this valve won't open or close. It will find itself in the middle. And it's this thing called valve float. And when that happens, you're not capturing gases and releasing gases. You just have open tubes. So you lose a lot of power and it becomes inefficient, which is why we use overhead cams. Hardtail is when there's no suspension in the rear. You see that on choppers a lot, and it will beat your prostate into submission. Air-cooled engine, it's also naturally aspirated. This is very fast. So this is cool. There's a few different types of engines. There's naturally aspirated, there's turbos, and there's superchargers. Most people have a naturally aspirated engine, which means the air that comes into the engine is dependent on the suction of the engine. As the engine's moving up and down, it creates this vacuum, it pulls in air from outside. It normally goes through a filter, of course, and then into the engine, naturally aspirated. You then have a turbo, and you have a supercharger. This one has a supercharger. What we're gonna do with my bike is put a supercharger on it, but they both work the same way, a turbo and a supercharger. Essentially, what happens is you use an external pump. So the air comes in, a pump condenses it, and then shoves it in the engine. So if you are able to pull in atmospheric pressure because of a vacuum being created by the engine, super cool. But you are limited to that much oxygen. You are limited to the amount of oxygen that can be naturally aspirated out of the air. With a turbo or a supercharger, I can double, triple, quadruple atmospheric pressure. And if I can shove that much extra oxygen, air, into the engine, I can then pair it with that much extra fuel. And that explosion in there is dramatically larger than the natural aspiration, which in turn makes more horsepower. And that's what this is here. So the engine down here is turning. As the engine is turning, it is running this belt up to this right here, which is the pump. So the air comes in here, it gets condensed in this pump, and then it gets shoved into the engine. Very cool. Yeah, so a turbo and a supercharger, they also make fun noises, which is cool because what happens is they are compressing all of this air. So they are compressing all of this air and they want to shove it into the engine. But maybe you let off the accelerator, so now you don't need any air. All the built up air will go out an escape valve, which makes a noise. And that's where you get that recognizable psst. So when people rev, they're like, rawr, psst, rawr, psst. It's because that psst would have gone into the engine mixed with fuel, but since they let off the accelerator, it was like, oh, I'll just go back outside. This is a naturally aspirated engine. So this, while it might look very nice, it's a cover, it's a chrome cover, it looks very fancy. This is just fins, and these are just fins. So as this engine right there sucks because it's going up and down with the pistons creating a vacuum, this is just able to pull in air very simply and just make sure there's no dirt in it. The Racha Rocket, she's already here, ready. It's fate. That's definitely him. No one makes an entrance like that unless it's him. Oh my gosh. What's up, man? This thing is cool. Is it electric?
Yeah,
It's
electric.
That's badass. When did you start this shop? Because I met you like 6, 7, 8 years ago, LVAC parking lot,
Yeah.
and your bike wouldn't start.
Yep.
And you told me, you're like, I work on bikes, and I'm doing some cool stuff to this one, and there's just a pull somewhere, I'll find it when I get home.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, badass. And then later I found out that it was more than just you tinkering on bikes.
Yeah. That was nine years ago I started this. So you made me right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning. Oh, wow. That's pretty
so now
cool.
it's grown into, I don't even know how many bikes you have in here.
No, I started to count them, but then I stopped. Yeah, I stopped, but I did stop when we first walked through the door. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I was like, oh shit, look at this one.
Yeah, and if you
Look
think
at this
about
one.
it, so every single bike is its own universe. You know, this one has 1 million parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
This bike has 1 million parts for it. That bike has 1 million parts for it. And then I have to like control every single different project. So it's a lot to
Take in and think
Yeah.
about. It is a lot for you to think about. How many people help you?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 plus me, so 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can take that.
Yeah.
Well, it's-
I'll turn this one on if you want. Ready? Be loud on the audio.
Okay. Yeah, I did hear that.
is the big show is called Guest Pass. Have you seen that at all yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. I love that show.
different.
My friend Devin, I was telling you a little bit earlier about him. We met at the gym. But why don't you take it from here and let everybody know what your shop is, what you do, and then maybe what we're going to do with my bike.
Cool. Yeah, so we met about 8 years ago outside the gym. I was having issues with my bike. That was my first ever bike that I got. I just wanted to fully customize it and have a cool bike for myself, which is sort of what you want to do.
Yeah.
But it turned into a whole business. And now I got over 20 bikes in here, you know, customers all around the world. And we're doing, you know, doing pretty big stuff. And as you can see, we can do like crazy stuff. So a supercharger on his bike, the Rocket, shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, good deal.
We work closely with all the manufacturers out of UK, Germany, to get the best product.
All right, so now we are on the other side of town. We are on Windmill on the east side, I believe it is, at Sin City Iron. We're gonna film an episode of Guest Pass, so make sure you check that out as well. But I don't think this will take too long, and then we're gonna go eat.
Oh, may I please have the protein burrito?
Yes.
But instead of the spinach tortilla, can I have a regular?
One of two.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
We're about to head out, but I enjoy meeting you. Thank you so much.
Carlos, huh?
Yes, sir.
So great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I enjoy watching your videos all the time, especially like the Lego ones. Just a little nerded, like, because you started like watching your videos and you start going to the gym. Like I know things, but like seeing how positive you are, it helps out.
Oh, dude, that means a lot to me.
It means a lot that you're like on the platform and helping us out and stuff. I appreciate you.
It's better. So we are at Tres Amigos because it is next to Sin City Iron, coincidentally. And we have been so embraced here, so welcome. This is a fantastic restaurant. I hope this is just at least halfway good, because that's all I'm gonna need to make this place a staple. Is it out of 5? It's out of 5? 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. The meat is really well seasoned and it's very, very soft. And then I like how light everything else is. There's just enough tomato, there's just enough onion in there, there's just enough cheese in there. This is great. Welcome to Elevation Fitness. This is gonna be the last location for Guest Pass today. So we're gonna go in there, we're gonna tour the gym, check it out. But once we're finished, Harrison is gonna show up and we're gonna train biceps and triceps. At least biceps, probably triceps too. Who's Harrison? Harrison, oh yeah, you guys don't know Harrison. So Harrison is a 6'2", majestic, long-haired, beautiful, muscular man. He's been a buddy of mine for years. He's out here in Vegas. He does a lot on social media, but mostly he just has such a passion for fitness that he's a great guy to be around.
Jeez, are you bigger now?
Oh, for sure.
I was gonna say, like, you look filled out.
Yeah.
It's the carbs, right?
No, it's just steroid. Well, we're gonna do biceps or triceps.
Both.
A little bit of both.
That's when I do arms. What I usually do, I do bis and tris together. It's like one set, like back and forth until I'm done.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It usually takes me about 45 minutes to an hour, hour and a half.
Oh, I would love it. Are you local or you visiting? Yeah, local. Me too, man. Natural creatine. The creatine from the meat. The red meat. So my man had creatine. But yeah, if he couldn't kill it and eat it or pick it up, I don't consider it natty.
It's like when I took like a Flintstone gummy back in the day. Oh my God. Well, I've never been natty my whole life.
Natty.
Crazy.
Natty status revoked. If you're injecting L-carnitine,
Okay, yeah.
what caveman was sticking a syringe into a
So your thought is, based on that level and that mode of thought, is you inject something that artificially enhances what's already naturally present, such as testosterone levels. Therefore, if it's an anabolic, no, absolutely not. So, I don't know. I agree to disagree on some regard. I mean, I don't think creatine inherently makes you like enhanced to the degree that I3 Pros would be.
No, never.
But I do see your technical point, it being that it's not 100% Paleolithic natural.
And that's what it is. It's really just me being cheeky.
Oh, you're just nitpicking.
Nitpicking, because if the kids are gonna come to me and say, well, I'm Natty, but I use MK and I inject L-carnitine and I use Rad 140. No, you're not. If you're gonna nitpick to say that I'm not Natty and you are, when you're using a pharmaceutical, like,
Basically, okay, so you can claim anything under the sun that you want as long as you're not injecting and still claim Natty, is what you're saying.
no, even the SARMs. If they're oral SARMs, that's not Natty. Yeah.
Well, educate me. What do SARMs actually do?
A selective androgen receptor modulator, I think is what it is. So it stimulates the androgen receptors to be more prolific and to absorb more proteins and stuff, just like steroids. Exactly like steroids.
So SARMs are equally as potent, not as potent, based on the dosage?
Not as potent.
Not as potent.
Not as potent,
Do you
yeah.
receive any side effects from using SARMs that would be present, such as like with steroid usage, you get hair loss, you get acne.
Yeah,
So-
you can have those side effects.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have like insulin sensitivity problems. You can have prostate problems. You can have acne. You can have everything. Yeah, steroids and SARMs. Though in the 70s, testosterone, Deca, Dianabol were all legal. So did that count as natty status back then? Well, now you're talking about, well, it's hormones. Okay, you're manipulating hormones, so that's not natty. Well, SARMs and peptides manipulate hormones. So is that not natty then?
Do you think that's the actual biological cutoff, though? Anything that manipulates hormone levels, do you think that's the cutoff?
That's a good point.
Because anything that could enhance what's already naturally there, like MK677, for instance, which enhances your natural HGH production.
Yes.
So something like that, which enhances what's already there versus artificially injecting something that isn't there already, like enhancing your test levels through artificial injection versus trying to raise everything naturally through natural substances like food or supplements that won't artificially enhance your hormones. Do you think
that
that's it?
automatically removes every SARM and peptide. Automatically removes every SARM and peptide. Those are medications. Yeah. The reason they're not illegal is because they're still in research forms, which means they're giving them to lab rats.
So there's a workaround.
And that's the workaround. So they're using a legal loophole to get around and maintain the natty status, which is where I bring it back. If you're relying on the government to decide what's natty and what's not natty, you're in the wrong field, because they change their mind every 5 minutes, and I don't believe in anything they say anyway. Because if you're taking creatine, you're not natural.
Which means that I am in fact an enhanced lifter.
I've been in your waters. I came for sure. I've never been so close before. It's one way or the other.
So today we're training biceps and triceps. Here's our man Harrison. I told you the hair was gorgeous.
I'll let it down later when we pose.
Oh,
Don't
good.
worry.
Good. Yeah, I want that hair down. But yeah, we're gonna do biceps and triceps. I think we're gonna alternate from biceps to tris to biceps to tris. Probably just do like 2-3 exercises for each and just have a good time. Try to get pumped up. Halfway strong.
Yeah,
We did like 3 each. That'd be like 6-8 sets working. So I do 2 working sets. I do one that fails between like 3 to 9, and I do one that fails between like 8 to 15.
Okay.
So I do both arms separated and unadulterated, and then I bring stuff together where both arms are together, and then I bring it together where I'm supported. Yeah. In the beginning is when you'll see me do more like the free weights and everything's kind of unilateral, and then that way I can like just give it as much mustard as I can without really putting myself at risk of injury, because I can use my hips, I can move like left and right, nothing's stuck. So once the bulk is fatigued from the amount of work I just did, then when I bring it in for both arms, or I bring it into supported, the amount of work I can output isn't really the amount that's gonna rip my tendons apart. So then I can just push and push and push and push and start taking away things like balancing, start using the left arm to spot the right arm and vice versa while I'm together, push the exercise further. Okay, let's go.
It's a big one too. Somebody hydrate or dehydrate.
That's not one you forget easily.
I'm willing to take the hit. I'll say it was my fault. They can be mad at me. I'm gonna start. Okay, that's 240. That is your body weight, sir. There you go. Come on, David. Like you, man. You got this. Come on, David. Come on. Squeeze. Push. Get spot. Push, 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 push.
Nice. I'll take a full negative. Negative more positive.
And squeeze, push, 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 drive. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. All right, I'll milk this out.
All right.
Hey, was that water sitting there?
Yeah, that's yours.
I didn't
We're
know.
protecting it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm sure you had to beat up a few tough guys to get to it.
Well, we figured it's a nice bottle, so we figured it'd be back.
Yeah.
Very strong. Good. Tight. Keep it tight, do it right. If you can, you must.
One more. I'll do it. Go.
That's nice. They're so much easier to work with than a full biscuit. Yeah, and if you're doing like chest or something, I use biscuits or back or for the bicep. They're just so small. Yeah.
I mean, I would. I think of what my D&D character for a barbarian would look like personified in real life. This is that.
Very strong. Very strong.
All right, I think it's about time I take the pump cover off, see what I'm working with. What's next? I wonder.
That's awesome. I love this exercise. When you get tired, you grab like a 25, and it will feel like 1,000. And you'll just get so pumped. To attack. Nice form too, you're staying tight. If there's anything, if you can, you must.
That's Larry's insane right now in your lat, dude. I don't know what you're doing, but man, keep doing that. Come on, David, you got more in the tank. Let's go. Drive it up. Get everything you got.
Oh, I feel pretty good. I feel like we're doing good. My arms feel big. Like I feel super pumped. I feel like we're doing good. I like the gym.
You don't need Viagra for this one. Get it up.
There's always something special about having a gym partner who's the size he is and has the motivation he does, because you get this energy you can feed off of. You have somebody else that's with you as a partner, as a duo, as a coupling, that you can feed off of their energy. They can hype you up, they can help you out with specific exercises, and to have somebody of his skill set with the amount of knowledge that he has in bodybuilding, it's invaluable to have as a partner. So in essence, yes, I do like having him as a partner.
I like working out by myself because I seem to find the most intensity with that. 2 o'clock in the morning, the music feels right, the caffeine's hitting me. I just find a zone where sometimes it even like brings me tears of motivation. Like I just really, really get into it and lose myself. But that being said, training with somebody else, to me, is almost like an advanced technique. I don't do it all the time. I don't think I could do it all the time because I really enjoy the focus and the zone that I get into on my own. But having somebody else with you helps push sets very far. Straight sets, negatives, the motivation alone really pushes workouts. So I think that learning to train alone is very important, but training with somebody else certainly has a place for getting results.
Natural working hands. That's what it is, isn't it? Pretty much. How old are you? 25? 26. Last 6. Almost 34. Side chest. Showing that much right now. I'm at the end of my bulk. Yeah, there's no way.
That was fun.
That was tons of fun. I think we did great. So we had a good day. We got a lot done. We talked to Devin. He gave me a lot of confidence. We did 2 episodes of Guest Pass, which is awesome. And then we had a fantastic workout with Harrison. So our day is pretty much done. I was happy with it. I thought it was productive. We have our game plan for the year. So all that's really left for me to do, because I don't have to think about this anymore, I just have to show up and do a good job. Diet, cardio, train hard, keep my mental state, and just try to look and be the best athlete that I can be as we roll through the year. Because things are about to start getting serious. We're gonna go to Nashville, Tennessee. Once Nashville is over, cardio starts, diet starts, and it is gonna be 5-6 months of hell, but it's gonna be awesome. And if you're watching, I appreciate you a lot. Please subscribe, all that jazz. It helps a lot. We got a ton of stuff coming. And if you're doing this during cardio, don't stop. Keep going, because I'm going to be right there with you. I'm looking at 1 hour, 2 hours a day, and it's going to be brutal, but it's going to be amazing. Welcome to the road. We are downtown in Nashville, Tennessee, about to go check out all of that. Like I was saying, before anything else, we gotta get a workout in. Sack of potatoes. So they really did make it, the chef and I.
Yeah, it was really fun.
They really did it. I can't believe that happened.
Dog Central.
I didn't know this many people existed. The writing supplies, normally
I should get slippers.
Slippers?